Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm currently on a mission to review every single movie that's ever been made. I'm doing this by going through all the movies on Wikipedia in alphabetical order, doing a review every week. And this is the list so far, and you can tell that I've made great progress and I'm going to be done with this in no time at all. So the movie for this week is Firstborn. This movie is a joint production of the United States and Iran, and it's allegedly a comedy movie, as you can tell by the wacky poster. The main character is this guy. He is twice as old as his wife, and he's the same age as his dad. And he just found out that his wife of 7 years is pregnant. And the movie is about the dad of the main character and the dad of his wife coming to see them. This is one of the least funny movies I've ever seen. It's one of the least funny movies it would be fucking possible to make. This movie's absolutely fucking dog shit. I would say that it's the worst comedy I've ever seen, but just a couple weeks ago, I reviewed One Night in San Diego with my friend the Filmog, and I think that movie might be less funny than this, but it's very, very close. It's almost impossible to say which movie is worse. But I absolutely hated this movie. Jesus Christ. Nothing in this film works. Every single scene is fucking annoying and boring. Every line is off. It's weird. No one is funny. No one knows what they're doing. Everything about this movie was a fucking mistake. Our main character is completely unlikable. He's fucking annoying. The movie starts with some narration by him explaining some shit that doesn't matter, and he mentions some characters that are barely even in it, which is really confusing. Like, he tells us who this guy is, and we never fucking see him again. It's really weird. I think narration is like a crutch that movies use in post-processing when they realize that the story is confusing or hard to follow. They like add in extra narration to explain scenes that weren't intended to have narration. That's my idea of what happened here, because it's so annoying, over the top. There's also wacky comedy music playing over nearly every scene in this, and that's another crutch that they use to try and convince you that this is a comedy movie. This main character is just dog shit. He just sucks. Luckily, he just sort of disappears halfway through the movie, and the movie's about the two not stepdads, fathers-in-laws. The two fathers-in-laws are basically the main characters of this, and the annoying fucking guy and his supermodel wife just sort of disappear halfway through it. Everyone is so fucking unlikable in this. Here's an example. Check out this doctor character.
Ooh. What is it, doctor?
We gotta abort the baby.
What?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know, real fucking funny. He tells our main characters here that their baby is gonna die unless they get the bone marrow of both of their fathers for a medical procedure. And this is such a fucking stupid setup for a movie. Like, why did they need to have some medical reason for the two fathers to need to show up? Because it's like, it almost sounds like they need to convince their fathers to go through with this, but it's like, if they didn't, then the baby would die. So they're not going to say no, are they? That's not going to be something that happens in this film. So then we get to meet our two father-in-law characters. The woman's dad is a congressman or a senator or some shit like that, and he wants to be president of the United States. The Iranian guy's dad is a American-hating activist. America-hating. He hates the United States. And I was like, all right, that's an interesting idea for a character, you know. A guy who hates the US, finally. You don't see that very often in like a family comedy. But this guy's bogus. I mean, there's a picture of him saying like death to the United States. He's like holding a sign at a protest. But this guy fucking gets over his hatred of America real quick. It's so annoying. Like, after one minor argument with the senator guy, it's just like, actually, you know, America's all right. And I'm like, what the fuck? I thought we were going to get some real vitriol from this guy. I hate America more than this fucking fraud does. Very disappointing. But he is my favorite character in the movie because his English is the worst. So every line of his is delivered in a pretty unique way, actually. He's kind of almost likable.
My son lives in a big, gorgeous house, but it's American and I don't trust America.
Because I don't really know what kind of character he's going for. You'd think he'd be like ultra, like, you know, America hating, but he just sort of acts like a crotchety old man. And he just sort of wanders around. Most of the movie is actually about him. He's kind of like the main character because, yeah, like I said, the couple who are going to have a baby just sort of disappear halfway through. And you just see him like fucking go to bars and wander around America. He just sort of monologues to himself. It's actually almost entertaining, but it's not because even these scenes just fucking make no sense at all. But he does meet a character called Joe, who is a crazy American. He's like a redneck or something. And these scenes are just the fucking weirdest.
Check it out. Twin Towers, man.
I want to do that same thing right here in Los Angeles.
No, Joe, this is not good.
So yeah, I definitely wasn't expecting that to happen in this movie, but 9/11 2 is a plot point, so maybe this movie isn't too bad. I mean, how many comedies have attempted to seriously introduce the idea of a second 9/11? So it's not the worst movie I've ever seen, but it's like in the top 5, I think. So this Joe character is a 9/11 truther, and he wants to do another 9/11. I don't really understand his motivations, but that's fine. He actually plays a crazy guy pretty well, because I don't really know what his logic is here. But I guess he's just insane, and that's fine. And the dad is like, wait, no, don't do this to innocent people. I mean, he says, like, I agree, America is terrible, but not the innocent people. Don't do this. So it's like, all right, that's a bit of character development for him, I guess. The movie sort of ends when the Joe guy almost blows up a boat that the two dads are on, but then the dad stops him and he's a hero. And he's like, I love America now. And that's his character arc. It's better than basically anything else that happens in this movie. Like, no other character gets any sort of development, obviously. I almost forgot to mention, President Biden is in this fucking movie, even though it was made before he was president, I think, which is sort of impressive. Val Kilmer plays Biden, but he only has like one line in this whole movie. Val Kilmer's a famous actor, but he had like a throat problem or something, so he like lost his voice, which is quite sad. So his only line is like dubbed over. He's in the fucking worst White House office you could ever possibly imagine. It's pretty sad. The scenes with his presidential advisors, though, are some of the most confusing and weird scenes in this entire thing, that they literally just make no sense at all.
Let me show you something else here. What we have is Welly, the welfare bear, and right next to him, Libby, the liberal sloth. Now, these are both excellent examples of potential viral marketing, but the first thing we need to do in all of this is to get you a wife.
They border on being entertaining, but they never do. They never actually have jokes, obviously. It's just this movie being fucking incomprehensible, as always. Also, it has scenes like this.
Well, hello, Mr. Jefferson.
Hello.
Anyway, after the 9/11 2 plot point wraps up, there's basically no point for this movie to keep going, but it does for another 15 minutes. The baby is born and is perfectly healthy, and then it cuts to like 7 years later or some shit. The baby is now a small child, and I honestly can't remember anything else to say about this movie. So yeah, this gets very, very close to being the worst movie I've ever seen. But there's like 1 or 2 scenes that made me smile almost.
Welcome to America.
Kiss my ass.
So because of that, I don't think I hate it more than One Night in San Diego, but it gets really, really close to being that bad. Anyway, I'm completely sick of talking or thinking about this movie. I can't wait to review something else. I give this movie 1 out of 4 stars. Should you go out and see it? No. Well, that's the end of this review. Thank you very much for watching. I'm back. I did take a long break, just because I got bored. It will happen again, I promise. In about 4 or 5 weeks, I'll probably take another 6-month break. Next week, I do not know what movie I'm going to be reviewing. I forgot to look before I recorded this, so look forward to whatever it's going to be. And thank you again for watching and for being patient with me. Bye.